Hi, I'm Matt and welcome to another Hobbyist Novitiate video. I love a contemptor dreadnought, but sometimes I want my dreadnoughts to be a bit shootier or a bit chunkier. And luckily, Games Workshop make a box just for that. Today we're going to be building the Marine Support Box, which comes with 2 more kinds of dreadnoughts, plus some, I think it's called artillery? This will really help me bulk out my army, give me some heavy hitters in the midfield that aren't tanks or things like that. I really want the extra dreadnoughts that can either be added to my own Contemptor dreadnought block or be fielded in their own little detachments to, run around and muck up other people's plans. Grab a hot drink and a biscuit, and let's dig in.
Leviathan dreadnought time. Like all the dreadnoughts I've put together so far, they start with the legs and then you put together them with the waist to create a nice little foundation to build the rest of the model around. It is quite fiddly. They are very small parts. It's a very small model, and I'm going to find that my side cutters are just way too chunky to get the bits out, so you do need quite fine side cutters. But yeah, just a few pieces. It goes together very nicely. Just getting the weapons out now, and on they go to make these crunchy boys. I've already acquired 1 injury. Two pieces for the smashy fist. You get the arm bit, and then the smashy bit goes on the end, depending on which variant it is. You get 2 of each type in this kit. And now it's Deredeo time. Same again, we start with the legs, onto that crotch, which is one of the pieces I'm just cutting out there, and that gives you a nice base to build the rest of the dreadnought around. Again, my side cutters are failing me. I'm having to use my hobby knife instead, and it means I'm needing to do much more cleanup, which is putting my fingers at risk. Just overall, get nice side cutters. It gives you less flash to clean up, and it means you're putting yourself in fewer situations where you have to use a horribly sharp object right next to your fingers, because that is not good safety. Do not copy me. Do not do this at home. You have seen the consequences. I end this video with 3 plasters on my fingers because I have sliced myself open. But this kit is actually really lovely. I love the Deredos. I love the fact that they've got a face like a boat. I love that they've got guns on both arms. All round, they're just, are they my favourite dreadnought? They might be. I think they might be. But then again, my favourite dreadnought is probably whichever the last one is that I built. You know, I'll go back to a Mark IV at some point and think, oh yes, this boxnaut, it is the best thing ever. For a moment, it was the ballistas, which, that's just horrifying. Again, 2 of each variant in this kit, which, as long as you want 2 of each, that's probably all right. If not, to field like proper squadrons that have all got the same weapon type, you're probably going to need to pick up 2 support boxes, which means more dreadnoughts, so maybe that's not a bad thing. Missiles. More missiles. I'm warming to the rapiers. The kit is actually very nice. It's like 2 or 3 pieces, very straightforward. All of the instructions are very straightforward. You just follow those and you get a model out at the end. The leg options for the dreadnoughts are very clear. The options for the units are very clear. Overall, just, well laid out kit, well laid out instructions. It's just fiddly because it's small. The weapons just drop straight in. And the infantry themselves just cut straight out of the sprue, which is really nice. I painted them on sprue, I just left them on there. I don't know why. I love the tarantulas. It might be because they're a really easy kit to put together. The lascannon ones are literally 2 parts. Okay, maybe 3 parts. There's a disc in the middle, but base, middle, guns. The missile ones, not much more complicated either. The missiles just go on the side bit and off we go. I think they look really good. as a nice little like siege weapon or defensive battery. The design does the part perfectly. And who doesn't love las cannons? I do. I love them so much. I love las cannons. And that's the whole contents of the box. Now to paint them. And I must admit, I lost the footage of me painting them red. But very simple process. You've seen it in the starter box. I dry brush gold to get a nice variation. Then I put a coat of Bile Red contrast paint over the top. And that's where we are now. I'm just reinforcing that contrast with some Carabo Crimson wash. And you can see some of the gold where I've wanted just the gold metallic. Then I'm putting in the white. That's my spot color for Thousand Suns. I think it really sells them as Thousand Suns compared to the other red factions. It can be quite a grungy coat because we're going to cover it with a blue wash straight away, and then we're going to make it look clean. But just, yes, weapons, anything that is some sort of weapon casing, I tend to do white. There's the blue wash of Drakenhof Nightshade. Just trying to get those recesses to really pop. And we're just pushing the reds to really make that the top surfaces really pop and burst out and sell these silhouettes, particularly on the individual guys where the details can get lost in the just overall thing of red. They're only 8mm tall. It's not nearly as bright as this once it's dried. That's always something you've got to remember. It's going to dry a little bit thinner, showing the underlayer, and it's going to dry a couple of shades darker. Putting in the first of the white highlights. This is just a dry brush just to take all those top surfaces back up, and then we come in a little bit more carefully to really particularly put in the brightest spots of white where we want them. I felt the gold was a little bit lacking, so I'm coming back in with Gehennas and just building up some variation of tone and really making that pop and look intentional and finished. Like the ammo feeds and various bits and bobs and the tips of the guns to sell those as, you know, the sharp end. Just trying to make those missiles pop out by chucking over my brightest red. I think it's Wild Rider. And popping in the silver on the plasma gun. For some reason, every other gun I'm quite happy being gold, but plasma guns, they should be silver. So I'm painting them silver. Popping the reds on the end of the big missiles, just to make them look angry. It just didn't feel right, the missiles just being white. It's like white with a red tip. It's like, yes, better missile. Highlighting up to the higher silvers on the Deredos. And then, yes, brightest whites really to make that white look clean with the top surface. The blue shade helps it look clean, actually. It's a trick of the human eye. It sees a little bit of blue in the brightest white, so if you sneak some blue in there, it really helps the white look clean. A little trick for you. Don't know if it's actually true, but someone told it me once, so I've been doing it since. Just making the plasma glow go. This time I just painted it bright blue and then putting on a blue shade because I don't think there's enough room to do a proper layer technique. It's too fine the detail. So yeah, this worked quite well if you need quick and dirty plasma. Really bright blue, this is Fenrisian blue, and Drakenhof Nightshade over the top, and it'll give you, yeah, quick and dirty plasma glow. And we put them together.
With these units, I finally got the tools I need to crush Josh's Lehman Russes.
Yes, the little tarantulas. Not sure if they're going to get used in my army, but I do love them. I love their idea. And in a siege scenario and various thematic scenarios, they're really good. And as I said, sucker for las cannons. Love las cannons. Also, apparently a sucker for putting a splotch of white paint on the back. So let's pretend that didn't happen. You didn't see it. Oh, look at them. They remind me of the mech suits from The Matrix, and yes, I love it. It's perfect for gunning down hordes of guardsmen, hordes of guardsmen. The smashy boys. I reckon these probably can take apart a Baneblade. I'm going to have to try them out and see. I'm just going to run them straight up and smash into Josh's Baneblades. I really love these rapiers. I think they have a lot of personality. I think popping a couple of marines on the back just makes them look really almost vulnerable and human, despite marines being inhuman, superhuman monsters. Yeah, I quite like them. They've got a lot of personality. And finally, the big missiles. Again, I love this. It's just silly. It's ridiculous. Why would you have one of these? But at the same time, I really want one of these. They're just so silly.
Thanks for watching. I've got loads of other sneaky plans for my Thousand Suns, so yeah, stick around and we'll have those videos out soon as I add bits and bobs and do some hopefully quite interesting stuff. See you next time.